Welcome back to Peoria Adventist News. My name is Matthew Lucio, and this is what's going on in the world of Adventism. We will begin in the United States. Maurice Valentine departed after 4 years as president of the Lake Union Conference. He has taken up a new post as vice president for the North American Division, where he will oversee the division's media organizations like It Is Written and Voice of Prophecy. In exchange for sending Valentine up to the NAD, the Lake Union has received Ken Denslow from the NAD as the new president of the Lake Union, as well as a first-round draft pick next season. An Adventist church in Montana is hosting a celebration of life for a man named Robert E. Lee of Marion, Montana. Lee passed away at the age of 72, and is remembered by an obituary that reads, "He did not make it to 99 years old and was not shot by a jealous husband while crawling out a window, but he never grew up." A group of LGBTQ students filed a class action lawsuit against the U.S. Department of Education, claiming the government should not allow any religious exemption to Title IX, which prohibits discrimination on the grounds of sexual orientation or identity. One of the plaintiffs is a current student at an Adventist university, which is named in the lawsuit. The goal of the lawsuit, according to the student, is to compel religious schools to protect LGBTQ students on campus regardless of the school's religious beliefs. If the school refuses, they should lose their tax-exempt status and all federal funds, he says. La Sierra receives about $24 million from the Department of Education as of 2018. The General Conference received some good news concerning a years-long legal battle over the status of the Adventist.com domain. Philanthropist.com Inc., a company that buys, hoards, and then resells thousands of domain names at huge markups, had purchased Adventist.com for $8,000 and began marketing it for $120,000. After the General Conference sent a cease and desist letter demanding that Adventist.com be rightfully transferred to the church, Philanthropists raised the asking price for the domain to $1.2 million. The General Conference refused to pay, and Philanthropists filed a motion to cancel the church's 2 registrations of the word Adventist on the ground that Adventist is too generic a word to trademark. The trial saw testimony from Seventh-day Adventist historian George Knight, whose books were cited by both sides as evidence. It also featured testimony from David Trim, director of the Office of Archives, Statistics, and Research, Bill Knott, editor of the Adventist Review, and Terry Ford, president and CEO of Adventist Healthcare. A panel of administrative trademark judges have ruled that Philanthropist has no grounds to proceed in canceling the church's registrations because, in my words, they're nothing but dirty trolls. They do get to keep Adventist.com, however, because although the church registered Adventist.org in 1996, they apparently never bothered to get Adventist.com. You had 20 years, guys. You had 20 years. And now some troll who lives in Myrtle Beach is just sitting on it. Now let's look at the rest of the globe. In Kazakhstan, 30 Adventist pastors, church leaders, and administrators gathered together for a spiritual retreat. Vladimir Mikhailov, president of the South Kazakhstan Mission, opened with prayer. The meeting also featured Yulia, an Adventist doctor from a local hospital, as a speaker. You know what? The English version of this story might not be giving me all the details, so I'm just going to go ahead and go to the division website and Google Translate it into English. There. That's better. I don't want that American fake news. Here we go. It was a meeting of the Achille and Priskils of the South Kazakhstan Mission, where 30 people, including sisters who can safely be called support in the service, were present. Opening prayer was offered by the president of the South Africa. Okay. And the meeting is here described. It was fruity afternoon, where Yulia, an Adventist doctor from Ukraine, apparently now, spoke. Yulia, or Julia, quote, tried to sanctify the relevance of sanitary reform for the people of God, end quote. I hope the Adventists in Kazakhstan enjoyed their fruity afternoon. Finally, Adventist educational leaders were part of the nearly 300 Christian educational leaders who attended the Christian Schools Policy Forum dinner in Australia. According to the Adventist Record, more than 50 members of Parliament attended, including Prime Minister ScoMo, or Scott Morrison? Yeah. Daryl Murdoch, director of the Adventist schools in Australia, served as MC of the event. That's all the news I have for you today. Remember that the gospel is good news. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. In Kazakhstan, 30 Adventist pastors, church leaders, and administrators gathered together for a spiritual retreat. Let's try that one again. Those are not the words of the judge. Those are my words.